Well, we are back with episode 17 of The Stream PC. We're going to be talking about planning your stream, planning your content. Do you do that with your stream or outside of your stream? And subathons, for those of you who are wondering. Let's get into it. All right, boys.
Yeah.
So, what was that? He said, I'm starting it today. No, I've been, kind of checking out some stream coaches and stuff like that, just because I find them super interesting and some of the stuff they feed people. Not saying they're a complete scam, but one of them discussed starting your stream. How do you start your stream? Obviously, you hit the go live button, ding, but more in the way of planning it. They want you to plan out every single stream. Which, if you think and dig and you really stretch and you're like, you plan every stream, yes. But this person means like planning like the entertainment, like planning, every moment of it and all that. And we've talked about this in the past. Like one of our first, few episodes of, being entertaining and having a plan, and then, what happens if everything goes away from it and stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to retouch / touch on it in a different light. Sauce. Lucky, do you guys plan your stream? Do you guys sit down before every stream and have this big old manifest of how your stream is going to go, and you successful at controlling that the whole time?
Not really. As far as planning everything, every little thing out, no. My plan is sit down, hit go live, and then it's mostly improv from there. There are certain days of the week where I know that I'm going to play like a certain game. Other than that, everything else is just what happens is going to happen as I go.
Okay.
Yep. I would agree. I think
Same.
that's I hit the go live button and I know I'm going to play Fallout right now. That's about as far as I've gotten. And then in Fallout, there's quests. I'm going to do those. So at the end of the day, I don't think it makes a lot of sense to say you're going to plan out an entire stream, especially for gaming, because it's so difficult. Like you can plan to have like an idea for something and have like a kind of goal that you want to accomplish, but planning out everything you're going to say, having a script, things like that, I don't see that being a viable option when you stream.
I think it comes off scripted as well, though.
Yeah. It does. It would come off very scripted.
Right.
And I don't think there's a problem having like topics that you want to go over. Like if you want to write down some things like while you're playing this and you're like, well, this happened over the weekend, so maybe I can bring this up. This happened, yada, yada, yada. That's fine if you have that, I guess. Personally, I don't do it because my brain just randomly thinks of random things at random times because I have a problem, and it's called not being able to pay attention. So if you need a crutch, like cue cards or whatever, make them for yourself, I guess. That's up to you. That you know yourself best. Now, where I do agree, planning things out is in your long form content or in like content in general. So I know personally, I'm not going to be using my streams for my other content.
Okay, so you're referring to other platforms' content. Got you.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. I'm with you now.
So I'm just streaming for funsies and to hang out with people at this point.
Yay.
I'm not making content for YouTube from that. I make that separately. Now I plan that content out. I don't script it all the way, which I have had fully scripted videos before, which I don't personally like. I like kind of the in spur of the moment types things because I'm a weirdo.
Right.
And I don't like overthinking things, and I would probably overthink a script if I was going to do it. So I just kind of go with it and I edit things the way I see fit. But I have a plan. Like I think about things. I go on YouTube normally and I'm like, how to, or Fallout 4, how to, and I look at the most searched things. I make that video. That's how I planned what I was going to make next.
I got you.
So that's planning your content. That makes sense. But as far as like planning and forecasting what I'm going to do the entire week, I have no clue what I'm going to do for tomorrow's video yet. And it's 11:49 p.m. the day before. So I have to get on that after we get done recording this podcast.
So that is
So-
interesting. So you do plan content, but you don't plan live streaming.
Yeah, I don't plan live streaming at all. I
Gotcha.
just kind of go with
Wing
the
it.
flow, fly by the seat of my pants.
I would say mine you could somewhat say is planned because like everybody knows, Thursday I'm doing a solo game, which right now is Ghost of Tsushima. Friday I'm playing ranked with the boys, and that involves Nana, the brothers is what I meant to say. Saturday I'm either doing community night, which we're doing this week, or I'm doing React night, and then Sundays is another solo. Now it's a free solo day. So as far as planning goes, I know what I'm playing on those days. But yeah, I think when you plan your content and you get too invested in it, like congratulations for having that much free time, but B, I think it comes off scripted, Now, I love what you said about the weekend thing. So maybe I fought a gator this weekend. I bought a new yacht this weekend, and I was in the hospital for unknown reasons this weekend. Right? I'd probably have those
Busy
set down.
weekend.
Yeah, it was. I probably have that written down right here on my paper, like you said, a cue card, and I would use that for those moments. And this is going to be good for you guys who are always like, I don't know what to talk about when nobody's in there lurking or watching or chatting. I would have those in my pocket, so that way when I start, maybe again we're established, so we usually have people in there as soon as we start, so we can say, hey, how was everybody's day? My day was blah blah blah. Guys, we're getting into this game today. This is what we want to accomplish today. Because if I'm playing Ghost, I know I plan on killing some Mongols. If playing COD, I know I plan on winning. So hopefully we can get a couple wins today. Whatever. And then when you're getting in there and you're talking and you're realizing, oh crap, I'm not really talking much. I need to get more active, because that should happen to you all the time. Because sometimes you just kind of get into a mode. You can kind of look down at your cue card and be like, by the way, while you're still playing or whatever, maybe you do it for in between matches if you're playing a match-based game. I fought an alligator this weekend. It was super crazy. Oh, match starting. And then you kind of leave them hanging on, I think that's super interesting. So when the stream coaches are talking about, you make them stay for that match though. When you're talking about planning it, that's the way I would take it. But again, some of these guys are like, they're literally wanting you to line for line playing your stream, and I think that's very stressful. And I don't think.
See, I struggle with the whole idea of a stream coach to begin with.
Yeah.
And the only reason I struggle with that is because a lot of these people that are quote unquote stream coaches don't stream or never have streamed or do any of this stuff themselves. So you can learn by watching other people, sure, and seeing what they're doing, what they're not doing. That's fine, but you learn more by doing something than you do by watching 9 times out of 10. Maybe they're the exception. Maybe they're that 1 out of 10 that made sense. But I'm not a big fan of the idea of having a stream coach. And you could say that we're technically being your stream coaches right now by talking to you and telling you guys what we think.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I want to let you guys know I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about 9 times out of 10. I just like to hear myself talk.
Well, also, we're not selling you this is how you do it. What we're selling you guys
doing packages on it.
Our experience, our view, like our views on subjects, and kind of showing you that there are just right here, there's 3 different ways to look at a subject. Our whole goal is to help you guys look at things in a different light than maybe what you're looking at. We've been in your shoes, right? So where we come in differently from a stream coach is we've been in your shoes, we're still in your shoes, we're still learning and growing as well. And we
don't charge for it.
Yeah, we don't charge for it.
Let's go ahead and call a spade a spade. These stream coaches ain't doing it for free. They're charging you some money because they're preying on you because they know you're not being as successful as you want to be. Right. So don't give them your money.
Leeches. All we ask for is a like and a subscribe. Okay, that's it. So.
Heck, you don't even got to do that. Just don't give them your money.
Just don't be negative in the comment section, please.
But back whenever you were talking about like writing down questions, like on a cue card or whatever, I do something similar, but it's a different approach. For me, I went out and bought like a couple of these games, like ask question games and stuff.
Yeah,
I got like a
buttload
of cards
money.
and stuff. You
can find them online for
bunch
free.
of different questions.
Office trivia.
I have sauce that does random things.
Like if I get to a point to where like I don't really know what to talk about, or if it's really quiet, I'll just grab some cards and start asking questions to everybody.
There you go.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, that's my way
Yeah.
to do it.
I mean,
I think the
absolutely.
best advice I could give somebody that's new and doesn't know what to talk about is talk about the things you're passionate about. Like whenever I was doing like
Nobody wants to talk about
Madden,
fishing, though. I don't know why.
somebody does. I'm sure I like fishing, but I'm not going to talk about fishing in my stream because I know they don't care about that, right? But if you're by yourself and you're just trying to talk and you're brand new streaming, no one's in there talking to you, talk about fishing for the next 3 hours if you want to. There's going to be somebody that walks in there and is like, why is this guy talking about fishing? Let me talk to him, see if I can help him out, get him on something, better. But it's all about what you're passionate about. I know whenever I first started playing like Madden leagues back in the day, I would talk to my wife about my team and I would tell her what's going on with it. I would tell her all these things. She doesn't give a flying fuck about it, right? But I'm talking about it
Facts.
because I'm excited about it. So
Can relate.
I would just talk about that on here to the camera, to myself. Like, man, well, I got this going on. This player just did this. Man, I'm super excited about it. And that energy that you have when you're talking about something you're passionate about
It shows.
is infectious. And you don't know whenever someone's in your stream. That view
Mhm.
count that you have on, which you need to turn off, is not accurate. It's not instantly updating. It just don't do it.
Right.
So you're trying to get that person's attention in a very quick window because people don't give you very long these days. We're the day of TikTok and YouTube shorts where you can scroll on to the next video
Yeah.
and they do it
Facts.
very regularly. So you need to be talking, you need to be having fun, you need to have that energy that you want to have. We talk about having pilot energy the entire time you're streaming. So would you watch a pilot that's doing this? Probably not, right? That's kind of boring. But you might watch one that's excited about something that they're talking about and they're playing their game, they're giving you a narration of what's happening, they're talking about their inner thoughts, and they're doing stupid things on the screen right now and trying to confuse me. I see what's happening. So I think that's the big thing though, guys, is enjoying what you're talking about, finding something you're passionate about and just rambling on about it. And you can
Facts.
ramble on about something you're passionate about for hours.
And like you said, you don't know who's in there lurking. You could, say something to spark a lurker to give them like courage to talk to you. Like, you never
Right.
know. Like, you're sitting there talking about the Tennessee Titans because that's your team or whatever, and you're sitting there talking about how good Derrick Henry's career was. And somebody comes in, they're like, yeah, man, I'm upset that he left. Now you have a whole new avenue of now you can sit there and just talk about the Titans forever, or, like he's
Mhm.
talking about, well, I don't know, fucking sea fish, dog.
Avatar:
Just,
The Last Airbender.
there you go. Yeah.
Anime,
And somebody comes
Magic:
in
The
and now
Gathering.
you start a conversation, you grow a connection to
Mhm.
this person through that one thing. It's just like a sales pitch, dude. Like it's the same thing. So very interesting. As far as planning, that's pretty much as I put into it. I know a lot of from coaches will tell you, well, that means you're going to fail, or or they will come in and tell me like that's why you're not growing as fast. But part of that is just trying to be, myself. I have a lot of Warzone players that come in and watch me, and I'm dog shit at the game. I'm terrible, and they're like, I love watching you because it's just usually the first 2 hours of it. Because you're having fun, you don't care that you're terrible. Like, I'll be loud and laugh and be like, oh my god, he got me. Now the next 2 hours is like, how the fuck did he kill me? That's the point where we should end stream at that point. But I would say any kind of planning I do is definitely going to be for content as well. So, when I walk into Ghost in Tsushima, I know, okay, I need to make sure I get some clips for this. So, next week on Thursday, I can post some clips on TikTok to see if I can gauge some of that community to come to my stream tonight. That's as much thought of that is. And then Friday is just like, okay, I need to make sure I get some executions because I have my whole execution king bit. I need to make sure I get some wins because people love to see you win. I need to make sure if a big fail moment happens, I make sure I clip that. I'm always thinking in the back of my head, clip, 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 clip. That way, I can clip moments like that. That way I don't have to work so hard and go back and get them. So that, as far as planning goes, that's pretty much it. Planning what kind of content I want to make. Other than that, just that's where it starts to become work, and you're not having fun, and that's going to translate very quickly into your stream. So I definitely
Mhm.
suggest, taking that, what they're saying as far as planning it with a grain of salt, and having at most some conversation points whenever your chat gets quiet. So for show,
Mm-hmm.
we talked about it a couple episodes ago. I think we talked about it last episode. We kind of walked into it a little bit. People are always like, I don't know what content to make. I don't know what content to make. At the end of the day, we've said it before. We'll say it again. It's what you're passionate about. Sasha's rambled on about passion. If you're like, welcome to this gun video, I hate being here, nobody's going to want to watch it. Nobody's going to believe that gun is any kind of good. If you're, doing walkthroughs of Fallout and you're like, oh, like check this out. This is really cool. Okay, bro, your energy says that this is ass. So it's just all about what you're passionate about. Lucky's a gamer through and through. He's a COD player through and through. And, I know he's not to out your ideas here, but I know he's considering making like funny type content, just goofiness content. That's totally cool because that's what he's passionate about. That's what he's good about. We ain't seen it yet, so I spoiled it for you. Push you in that direction.
It's in works.
But at the end of the day, just do what's you. That's how your people are going to find you. We've said it before. I've said it before. It's all about finding your people. Putting your content out every day. Don't look at it like, oh, this got 100 views. I hate it. If that's what you want to do, put it out there. And hopefully one of those 100 views, every so often is one of your people that finds you and stay with you forever.
I think it's important to know that there's no one way to do something. There's no correct path. There's no, you have to do it this way. Yeah, there's nothing. Like, I can't tell you why Ninja blew up the way he did. It happened. I can't tell you why a lot of people did the things that they did.
I know the moment he blew up.
That's great.
Hit your shots, kid.
Right time, right place, right preparation. That's all it is. So your job now is to figure out how to get the preparation you need for that right time. So is that streaming hours on end on Twitch? Is that posting content? I can't tell you the answer to your exact recipe. And as much as I want to try to be an authority on something, I know about as much as anybody else. Like, I know my experiences. I know what's worked for me. They know what's worked for them. That's all we can share with you at the end of the day. And I'm super happy to do that and try to help you. But even though we're trying to help you, definitely take everything we say with a grain of salt as well. Not just these stream coaches that are charging you money for it.
Yeah.
So I think that's an important thing that you need to remember is that just because I'm giving you the recipe for what I did doesn't mean that that recipe works for you. Maybe instead of adding, some eggs to that, maybe you need to go in there and get some mayonnaise to make a moist cake. I don't know.
It's not a one size fit all.
Oh,
it's not.
Yeah.
You can use what somebody else did as a guideline for sure, but you can't just go and do exactly what they do and expect the same result.
Facts. Yeah. I think, on socials, a lot of shitheads out there like to point out like our following's not that big or whatever. Again, we're not doing this because we think we have the right answers. We're not doing this because we think it's our way or the highway. That's not why. It's exactly what they just said. Is we want to give you our experience and hopefully it helps you. Also at the end of the day, this is just another cool way to show people that we're serious about this, and maybe we gain some fans of our own. The cool part about us three doing this together is our communities are so intertwined that if you love one of us, you're going to end up loving all three of us. It's just how it works usually. So I think it's just funny when the haters are like, well, you guys' following ain't that big, who are you to say all this? I am me and I have my experiences. You can't take that away from me. So I think people are so quick to judge and so quick, at the end of the day, if Ninja and whoever else he plays with sat down and did the same exact thing, they would have some similar experiences, but they would also have much different experiences, and at the end of the day, if you wanted to go and replicate what they try to do, you've missed your window. Fortnite's now been out for however many years. You've missed your window, I
mean, you could already look and see what his way was. He did a masterclass on it. And everyone laughed about it because it was a terrible masterclass because it's so out of touch because he did it in a time that is so broken away from what we're doing right now.
Right.
Doesn't even make sense anymore because he did it in a time that streaming wasn't even as big, it wasn't as popular. And
Right.
now there's just so much competition out there. And I hate thinking about everyone as competition, but everyone at the end of the day is competition for that view, for those watch hours. So, where you might not think about it that way, at the end of the day, it is. Not only am I competing with you two as streamers, I'm also competing with whatever popular TV shows on at the time that I'm streaming, or
Facts.
Netflix, Hulu,
Anime.
freaking anime, Crunchyroll, whatever, all the things. We're
Yeah.
competing with it.
That's why I've got 2 monitors. Okay, I'll have y'all tabbed up and lurked over here, but I'm watching my Demon Slayer over here. All right, like, I'm sorry.
So I'm not on the
That's
big
fine.
screen. Wow. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, streaming is just like any other job at the end of the day. If you work at Walmart, you work in an office, it don't fucking matter, bro. All your coworkers are competition. So all of our coworkers are other streamers. You're going to go in, be on time, make sure you're doing good, following the rules, proper dress code, whatever, dude, working hard, and you're going to try to move up. Everybody should be doing the same thing to move up. That's something, that I think everybody should strive for, is to be better than the person next to you and move up. Because at the end of the day, put your bread in your pocket and feed your family. So
Mhm.
that is what it is. Tim Tapman had a clip circling around here recently where he was talking about, how hard, I think he had like a basic warehouse job where he stocked. And he was talking about how hard that was and how it was very hard work. So he knows hard work. And I think a lot of the blue collar community just bashed him immediately. It was just like, you think that's hard work, boy? And then of course, you got your Oilers coming in, your truckers coming in. I'd work this hard and do
yeah.
all that, and at the end of the day,
I
his
figured that would
message,
happen.
yeah, his message wasn't, oh, that was the hardest thing I've ever done. What he was talking about is streaming has its own, battles that you have to fight.
Mhm.
Because the whole point of what he was trying to get across is like streaming is rough too. You have good days, you have bad days. You
Mhm.
have, there's a lot of work to put into it. Now, coming from him was kind of funny. Talk about out of touch. I mean, he's got a whole one guy that runs all his stuff and makes all his clips and does all his stuff. He's got probably, off the top of my head, probably at least 100 plus TikTok channels, YouTube channels that just post his content and they make money off of it as well, which only is exposure for him. So it's funny when these bigger guys, talk about it, which is why when people are like, oh, you guys don't even have a following. Yes, we're on your level and we're trying to help you. I'm not targeting Tim and Ninja and all them. I'm not trying to get my message out to them to help them. If they listened to it and thought it was helpful, awesome. Hopefully that gets me the publicity that I want, but we're aiming at the fellow small streamer here to help. That's the point of what we're doing. So it's just
Right.
very, very interesting to see all these different takes on it. Um, funner. Is that a word? Funner? More fun.
Funner?
The funnest of the
Funner.
funs. Let's talk about subathons. Okay. I know a lot of I've seen week 1 affiliates host a subathon, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever. What is a subathon? I'm gonna let one of you smarter people answer this. What is a subathon?
Go ahead, Sauce. I've only done one.
A subathon is a marathon stream. Effectively, you start it with a set number of time, a set time, like maybe 6 hours or whatever, and then every action that they have adds a certain amount of time to your timer. There's capped subathons and there's uncapped subathons. A capped subathon means that, like, I think I had one time where it ended at 24 hours because I wasn't going to do longer than 24 hours.
Yeah, fuck that.
So every sub, every follow, every little bit of bits, I had a certain amount of time that would be added for that. And the timer would continuously go up, and you have to be live until that timer's gone. Now, uncapped subathons, exactly what it sounds like. They do not end until the timer runs out, and that timer can be days, weeks, months. It can be a long time. Now, do I think that that's a feasible thing for most people? Absolutely not. I think that's kind of crazy. First week people that are trying to do subathons, it doesn't make sense
Yeah.
at that point, right?
Like, I get the point behind it. They're
Yeah.
trying to get subs. Is what they want.
Yeah.
So I think that subathons are cool for celebrations and
Yeah.
things like that. I think if you have a subathon every other month, it just comes off as you being greedy and wanting that money.
The
And
Shetta.
eventually,
Me that big
your community catch on to it and be like, all right, we're just not gonna
right.
do that
Be
because
tired of you.
that's dumb.
You've made me
So,
poor.
I would say, like, falling back onto our last subject, if you were going to do a subathon, that would take. I would
lot of
definitely
planning.
sit down and plan
Oh,
every
that's a
little
plan.
bit.
That's a planned stream for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of people
100%.
don't play the same game the whole time because they're like, well, this is going to happen. You have to have goals if you're planning on actually getting subs. People aren't just going to sub, man. You got to
Yeah.
give them a reason to sub.
An
So,
incentive, yeah.
yeah, I've seen people do a lot of incentives. Like there's everything from Aztec and having an egg dumped onto his head, his wife attacking him with silly string,
Eye to the
to
face.
a pie to the face. There's a lot of different things you can do. And
Sour
I've
candies?
had there's sour candies. I've done
You did the one chip challenge,
I
didn't
did the
you?
one chip challenge and one of mine, which was terrible. Don't do that.
Oh, we seen people do like nitro bears nowadays, which are way worse and all that. Yeah, but at that
Yeah, don't do
same
that.
time, I guess that was going to be my question: is like, what is so that's different from a subathon? What I do, right? It's a like sub goal. Would that still be considered a subathon? Because there's not a
only if
timer
it
on
adds
it,
time. Only if it adds time.
right?
So you're technically not doing a subathon. You're just doing a sub goal stream, which
Incentive stream, whatever.
which whatever. At the end of the day, it's the same
Like
concept, right?
I guess you could just say a sub party.
Sure,
I guess.
sure.
There's got to be a
Whatever
better
you
name
want to
for it
call
out
it,
there.
right?
Probably is.
But
Yeah.
a subathon itself, you have to add time to a timer, and like I said, it can be capped or uncapped. I'm not a big fan of the whole uncapped idea because you want to take care of yourself as a streamer,
Yeah.
and
your PC and equipment.
Right.
and if you are ending stream to go sleep and do everything that you do anyway, and then starting it back up with the same timer, you're not really fucking doing a subathon. You are doing a long stream and then another long stream and then another long stream until the timer runs out. Because those are separate streams, man. Those are not one long
True.
stream.
Now I would agree if they like reset their PC every once in a while, just because. I mean,
Well, yeah, if they go right back to streaming right after they get done resetting their PC,
yeah,
that's
fair.
fine. But if you spend like, well, I'm just gonna pause this timer for 8 hours while I sleep and then I'm gonna get right back on. That's not a subathon anymore. That's just you streaming a really long time and pausing it in the middle.
They need to have another webcam pointed on their bed, and then
Sleep
people
on
can
stream.
spin bits to play sound alerts through a loud ass speaker to wake you up.
You can do that, or you can just have a game going. The whole point is you need to have your stream active the whole time, in my opinion. Which, who am I, right? Whatever. But you need to have something going the whole time. If you want to have words on stream where you're not on camera because you need to go to sleep, cool, whatever. If you have a cap subathon, you can't be up there for 24 hours. You're a weak person at that point anyway. Let's be honest. Anybody can stay up for 24 hours. It's not that complicated.
You're rough. I'm a teddy bear.
I'm not staying up for 24 hours.
Then don't do a subathon. that caps at 24 hours. Cap it at 18. I don't know what to tell you, man.
I would struggle. I struggle to stay up for freaking 14,
You
16
also
hours.
don't do subathons, though.
Yeah. I do not.
That is true.
I've done one.
And that's fine. See, that's
I've
the thing.
done one.
If you're going to do it, you have to know what you're getting into. And you have to be prepared to do what you are saying you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're not, are they getting what they paid for at the end of the day?
No. Yeah.
No. So
Yeah.
I'm very opinionated on this, but yes.
Yeah, that's why I've chosen the subject. No, I just think it's a fun thing to do, but also I think because again, we're mostly pointed at smaller streamers. I think where a lot of smaller streamers get in trouble is like they make this big old plan, which is good. It's practice, right? We'd always talk about everything you do is practice for future. Like my first subathon was a freaking bust, it was terrible. But then, my second one and then my holiday one were kick ass, and I set records for myself doing that. But obviously the incentives were really good too. But just don't go into it with a whole lot of expectation. Don't set ridiculous goals. Don't promise things that you're not going to do or not want to do. That's the worst thing you can do for your image and your career, is say, if I get to this amount, I'll do this, and then not do it. We all know I've made that mistake out my mouth where I was like, haha, I would do this for this, and then I had to follow up with it, and unfortunately, but
can I get a pool party on the next one?
Hot tub stream.
Yeah, we get a little hot tub stream.
I ain't spoiling nothing, but I got some big plans for my birthday. But yeah, we'll leave that there. But we just have so many people in the community that, again, week 1 affiliates doing subathons, and I was just like, what are you doing? And then they got burnt out, and because nobody came and subbed, they just thought like they could put the word subathon in their title and everybody's going to come out of nowhere and sub to you.
You're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, there are people out there on Twitch that look forward to subathon. They're searching it in the search bar, so you might get some traction. But if you're sitting there like this, mad, nobody's in here subbing, they're going to leave because they're going to go be where the hype is. So that's something else that you have to understand. Most people, because they can see a preview of how many people are watching you before they even click on your video, see 1 or 2 people in there and you're hosting a subathon, they're not even going to click on your video, unfortunately, because they're like, it's not even lit in there. Like, people want to go where the hype is. So those are all things you got to think about, man. Again, and I love that Sauce said it, you don't want to overdo it. I typically only do it for my birthday, affiliate, anniversary, because that's a big deal, and holiday. I think Christmas is the other time I do it. So that's pretty much it, with that being said, I love it. I mean, clips that come out of it, the memories that come out of it. I still have people talk about, Fiesta Miss, which was like what I did during Christmas and how much fun they had with it. Once you get your community behind, what you're doing and behind you, I mean, those things become a lot more fun. So doing it early on, there's almost no reason to do it, unless you're just learning from how to productively plan it and, figure out your comfortability on stream of what you're doing and putting on the show for. Other than that, I wouldn't even do it, honestly.
I would agree. I mean, I don't see much reason for them other than celebrations where you're doing it with your community. Yeah. Because if you don't have a community, who do you expect to sub anyway?
Right.
Just randos, like I've been streaming for a long time now. You guys know already. Do people come in and sub the first time they're in there? Occasionally. How often does that happen, though?
Once a year, once every 6 months. There's not really a number there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why would you expect that to happen for a subathon for everybody that comes in to do that? Like, it's just not realistic, So set yourself up for success. Don't put yourself in a place where you're going to be ruining your own mentality. You're going to make yourself upset, which at the end of the day, we talked about this. Even if you run a subathon, no one owes you a damn thing.
Right.
Nobody. And just because you gifted subs during somebody else's subathon doesn't mean they're coming in and doing it for you, because that's support for support. And that's not what we're here for, bud.
Sucks. Yeah, again, but it also, it doesn't have to, we're not trying to be super negative Nancy's or anything. We're not trying to get you guys down. We're not trying to talk you out of it. We're just being real with you guys. Now, again, if you can plan and you have a community behind you and you want to do it, freaking run with it. We have so many funds. There's so many ideas that you can do. I know from past experience, searching it up, you can find so much stuff. But also, like, the fun part about it is creating your own crap. Do something crazy. The boys mentioned, because obviously they had fun in my past ones, is, pie to my face. My wife covered me in silly string, which is the community fucking loved just because of how happy she was to do it. My brother,
she was smiling from ear to ear while she was doing it.
I think it's because in the back of her mind, she knew I don't let her clean my area over here. I clean it. So she probably knew on top of getting to do it, she didn't have to clean it, which I think made it a lot more fun. For her. Yeah. My brother broke eggs on my head. I've had a community member that lives close by come over and dye my hair. Just a lot of fun stuff that can come out of it, and just memories that me and my community will share, forever going forward. So definitely a positive thing. Definitely definitely should be utilized for celebration moments and not overutilized. Um, I agree with Sauce though. I've seen some people do like the subathon like 48-hour plus, and then they go to sleep. And even though it was creepy what Lucky said, I agree. Like you're asleep and I paid money for the stream to be running right now, and like you just have words on stream on. Like give me a mini camera of you over there tossing and turning or something. Like what's going on here? That's kind of creepy though, but I get it. I get it. So, yeah, I don't.
Yeah, no way am I saying you need to not sleep, but you need to not end your stream and just do that, because that's not a subathon at that point to me. That's
I mean,
Right.
if you claim to do it, then stand
be
on
about
business.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
be about
Yeah.
it, Like, and I think that subathons are a great tool for a streamer, but it's a tool just like any other tool. You can overutilize it. So make sure you're using it at the right times. You're prepared to use it. You know what you're doing, and it makes sense for the task at hand. I'm not going to
Right.
use a hammer to saw a piece of wood. I'm not going to use a saw to hammer a nail.
I've done it though. I've done it.
Yeah, it
I've
was
done
annoying,
it.
I'm sure.
It was work. It was work. I think another cool thing to mention and talk about is set your subathon up to your level and be honest with yourself. If you're not a big streamer, it needs to be a very easy, cheap subathon. For every sub I do this, at every 5 I do this. I've seen people go in and either misunderstand mine, or I've seen other bigger streamers think that, or put in there at 100 with 100 subs I'll do this. Not 100 total subs. I need 100 subs to do this. They don't add together. They don't get, it's just like, what? That's crazy. But they were big enough that it happened. Then they had to stand on business and do whatever the hell they said they were going to do. So that's something to think about, because a lot of the group that did it the first week of affiliate were like, all right, we need 20 subs to do this and then 30 subs to do this. And I commented, I was like, is this all together? Like once you get to 20, no, I need 20 to do this. Good luck, bud. Good thing they didn't have to do that their whole stream. So that's why I always make sure I put mine as like community goal challenge. Like once we get to this amount, this is for sure happening.
I definitely think it should always be
collective.
Like you should have community goals.
Yeah.
And then maybe individual goals as well, if you're going to have individual goals. Because cool. If they gift more than this amount, then you'll do something special for that person in particular.
Right.
But community goals are the way you're going to do it. And in order to have community goals, you have to have a community.
Yeah. Something cool. Go ahead.
Like I said, it's something you're going to be doing later on whenever you start streaming. Doing it at the beginning is just crazy. You're setting yourself up for failure. I don't see why you would want to do that to yourself.
I think it just, you're allowing yourself to have a negative connotation of the whole subject. You're just like, oh, I'm never doing that again. And that's a shitty way to think about it. So a cool thing that you can always do during a subathon, especially when you're wanting money, is also take care of your community members. Again, you have to have a community to talk about this, but take care of your community members that are, in tough spots and broke. Something I told myself at first I wasn't going to do during my Christmas event was I wasn't going to allow people to get double ups, well, then somebody was like, can I get 2 and give 1 to somebody else? And I was like, absolutely. Because you're going to have members of your community that can't participate. They want to be there to support you. They want to watch, they want to have fun. They want to share the memories. They want to see you do that stupid shit. I mean, they can't just afford it. So I always like to add something for free in the subathon. So maybe for your members that have been there for a long time with you that can't afford it, create a new channel point for that stream and let them redeem a certain amount of channel points to, be included somehow. Obviously, you don't have to do nothing big. You don't have to do nothing crazy. They are going to understand that it's going to be a minimal thing, but maybe have a channel point tracker on your stream. Once the community spends this much channel points collectively, we'll do this, which would be a super cool way to get engagement, because we've heard in the past that the more channel points are spent during a stream, the more you get thrown out into the algorithm. So that's just a super cool way to get yourself built up too. Mm-hmm. I've never done this. I literally just had this idea live right now.
I've done community goals like that before. I mean, that's something that Twitch actually has integrated in it. They have community goals that they can contribute points to. in order to have like a big
I didn't know
goal
that.
happen.
I did not
Yeah,
know that.
it's right in your dashboard, right
Mm.
next to where you create your channel points.
Yeah, I'm definitely running
Right
that.
above
My
it,
next one.
there's
for sure.
a community goal.
That's
So
awesome.
it's a super helpful thing.
I know
and
there's a couple
that is
community
free.
members in all of our channels that have a scary amount of points that could probably carry on their own.
They can only
true.
donate 2,000 per stream.
Gotcha. Well, I know
So
2
you set
community
it for
members
like
right
a
now.
monthly goal or something.
Done. That is interesting, but that's something to think about. Always think about your people that want to support you but can't financially support you, because they exist. I'm here.
And the most important thing somebody has in their life is time.
Yeah.
So those people are investing time into your stream and into you as a creator and as a streamer.
Right.
So I would say those people are borderline more important than the person giving you money, even though the person giving you money might be giving you money, because
nice.
money do be nice, but that time, that is so much more important than any dollar amount that you can put to it.
Well, anything else on subathons, boys? I think we fucking nailed it, dude. I'm pretty proud of that little segment right there.
All I got. I'm off my soapbox now.
Off your soapbox.
I do want to mention something though. We kind of talked about it last episode, I do believe, and we talked about it. I think we stepped into it. You can't be mad at long term. Like, let's say you have a community member that constantly gifts you, right? They're just always there. They're always gifting. They're always taking care of you. Then you host a subathon, and again, life happens. Maybe it's a bad month, and they can't help you out. Whether they came to you and said, "Hey, like this is going on," they don't have to do that. But if they did, you definitely shouldn't do what I'm about to say. But don't ever call out people who normally gift and expect them to gift. Life changes rapidly. I was discussing some ideas that I had just because I wanted to make sure I had gas money for the week. With a community member of mine that historically has gifted a lot. And they were like, "Oh, I can't." And I was like, "No, I'm not asking you. I'm bouncing. You're a mod for me, goddammit. I'm trying to bounce ideas off of you." I wasn't asking. Like, well, I can't because it was like, I understand. I'm not asking for it. I'm telling you, I want to do this on stream because I think it would be fun. What do you think? So I think I don't like the idea that person felt so pressured to do it. I don't. Well, guys, unfortunately, it looks like Sauce's internet is down for maintenance, so we cut out mid podcast. We'll kind of retouch on what I was saying in the future episode. Basically, really, all I was going to say is just take care of your people. Don't have a high expectation out of people who've subbed to you in the past, because not everybody is always able to. We'll probably just leave it at that, and we'll move on to our next subject next podcast. Stream PC out. Sauce is okay, guys. He will be back. Just, Cox Internet being Cox Internet. Be better in Florida, Cox. We love you. Stream PC out.